I hope the stream didn't miss too much.
That's way out of Paimon's league. Paimon thinks she's been nothing but good to us. Anyway, we'll see if you're onto something. Before we look for Zhongli at Diwa Marsh, let's go to the place marked out on these papers and see if the Fatui really are up to no good thing.
It bugs me that the stream died. That's very, very annoying. It bothers me to no end.
Sorry, anything business related is confidential.
Yes, lady, yes. I don't see Ningguang. Did she stay by her desk? No, she vanished at the thing. Oh, there she is.
So, you don't have to confirm it with me. Afterwards, why not sit down for a while in the Jade Chamber? Or have a short stroll? Rest is also an integral part of any journey.
It's time we made a move. Thank you for your hospitality.
Come now. There's no need to stand on ceremony.
The least I can do is at least thank her for her kind and arduous hospitality. That's not the right word. I'm gonna get bitten in the comments for that one later. Shit. $995. It should be like right here. Oh, maybe we'll get lucky to find a Geoculus while we're out. That'd be awesome. Considering how long it took me to find the last 3 Animalculi when I was looking for them, I doubt I'll find the last 15 in this vast landscape that is the Liyue section of the map. I'm hoping that with this current update that just released, with the continuation of the Archon, of the Geo Archon class, I hope that I get to move on to the next Archon and do a little bit like they did with the Geo. It'll be a little annoying, but it'd be better than them just having finished the Geo Archon and then put nothing else in. Personally, that's what I think. That is not loaded in fully. That was a very interesting picture. Even if they leave an Archon quest half unfinished, it would be better than just putting the 1 or 2 chapters that's needed to finish that Archon quest. Yeah, it'd be better for them to do 1.5, or yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. It's better than for them to leave a half an Archon quest than it is to just do 2 chapters.
Let's move. You need to hurry up. This was well done. You need to hurry up. Roasted fry. You need to hurry up. This was well done.
Alright. Had to mute myself, sorry.
You need to hurry up.
Ouchie.
Roasted fry. You need to hurry up. This was well done. You'll fall.
Oh no, he powered up. The big fat man is alive. Guelba, get them! Oh, I was trying to use the fire to charge up, but I missed. Ha! Oh, I was too far under for that to lock onto me. Can be because you're a big fat man. You're like Shigoki. Owie.
My duty at an end.
We must go below the ruins to see in which the quest wants us to progress through. At least I think so. No, it would appear that I needed to be up there. A nice little factor that they've added in is that the actual quest log says whether or not the thingy you're after needs to be up or down. It wasn't there before, at least I don't think it was. Ah! He's like leaf blowing me. Spear users are good for DPS, and then greatsword users are good for damage per strike. Too warm, eh? Up higher? So where we killed the fucking bayonet dude. I guess it makes sense. There's all the boxes up here. Is it this? This section cannot be formed in combat. No. Fucking Earth guy. Camera is moving too much for my liking today. Camera's been a little finicky since the last update started, and it's a little bothersome, but not too much so. Not like the good old games of the PS2 era where the camera was either rigged or in a bad position.
And some stacks of blank paper too.
Maybe they're trying to reproduce it.
I haven't seen this pattern before. Oh, Paimon knows. It looks just like the sigil of permission the child gave you. But how did a relic of the Adepti end up in the hands of someone like Child? Suspicious.
It's not just a relic.
Oh, that's right. Cloud Retainer said that when the Lord of Geo created the sigil of permission, it wasn't to be used as some old relic. Talismans like that were once used in the Archon War to channel divine powers. Maybe the Fatui are copying the sigil of permission in hopes of achieving a similar effect. Being able to channel divine power in battle? Whew, that sounds pretty dangerous.
Maybe this paper's only a snippet of a much bigger plan.
We'll need to keep an eye on Child, that's for sure. Alright, that's enough sticking around here. We gotta go meet up with the last stop stop on our rite of parting preparations tour is Dihua Marsh. Let's go!
Oh. Yeah, I have to go too far, but I'm still gonna teleport because I'm lazy as fuck. I know, a lot of loading screens and stupid storyline shit, but I'd rather not have to jog my happy ass across the landscape when I could just be there in, let's say, 2 minutes. As opposed to 15. Because running across the map does take a good moment. A fair few seconds. Let's go this way. Do not wake and attack me. It woke and attacked me. Run! That was a close call. I thought Zhongli was supposed to be in the characters to be released for this update, but he wasn't, which is a little disappointing.
Right on time. I myself only arrived moments ago.
Yeah, you and I know that's bullshit. You and I both know that's bullshit, Zhongli. You've been here for fucking weeks, probably.
Did you enjoy your visit to the Jade
It was so big and pretty and expensive. Paimon's never seen such a fancy schmancy place before.
Indeed. It's second to none in all of Liyue. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust?
She's super rich and so generous. Paimon thinks she's very friendly.
Business people are always friendly when it suits their interests.
Yeah, her take on Ningguang is quite different from Paimon's. She thinks that even the tactless Yuheng is more trustworthy than her.
I forget who Yuhang is.
Oh. So you also met with Keqing then? What did she have?
She said the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even Liyue and Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
No respect for the Indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Keqing, Ningguang is more of a businesswoman at heart. Though they are both members of the Qixing.
I also have a thought that maybe Zhongli might be the Rex Lapis, and the one we saw was nothing more than a facade.
Although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions.
Ningguang is highly intelligent.
Yes, she has only relied on herself to rise to her current position. No ordinary person could ever achieve that. It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever gave up the position of Tianquan, she would never give up the Jade Chamber.
The Jade Chamber is only second. What's the most important thing to her then?
Obviously Liyue.
Why, Mora, of course.
Or that. Makes sense.
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She said that after Rex Lapis was murdered, the Fatui have constantly been trying to sink their fingers into Liyue, and that they aren't to be trusted.
That is how the Fatui have always been. It doesn't surprise me in the least.
And now they're trying to reproduce the Sigil of Permission.
No matter what they may be planning, you must be careful when dealing with the Fatui. Always be on your guard.
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of parting in Dihua Marsh?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. Today, we'll be gathering wild glaze lilies.
Hey, I needed some of
Glaze
those.
lilies. Well, why did we come all the way out here? Doesn't the garden in Yujing Terrace have some? Even Qingse Village has glaze lilies. Oh, right. Paimon remembers that Madame Ping is always tending to flowers.
No. Those lilies have all been gardened by people. They won't do it all. Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies. It is a sort of joyful flower that listens to humans. Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil. But the war caused landslides, and the land was flooded, turning it into the marsh you see now. Nearly all the glaze lilies were wiped out.
Huh.
Of course, there are some kinds of flowers that have been preserved and gardened by people in the city. But very few people know that glaze lilies may still be found in the wild. Wild glaze lilies have the strongest fragrance. If we want to follow the true tradition of the rite of parting, we must grind up the wild lilies and place the powder in a censer of everlasting incense. But I'll need your assistance in gathering these flowers.
You need me to sing?
That's correct. Your singing will surely bring out the strongest fragrance from the flowers.
So they finally implemented the female traveler's voice lines in some of her in-profile stuff. I'm wondering...
So how good is your singing?
I can hold it soon.
Really? Why doesn't Paimon Blue...
We'll only know once she starts singing.
Please? No song. I'm sad now. I was interested to hear what they would do.
It's time to sing, whenever you're ready. Da, 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 da.
That's Barbara's voice line that they dubbed over with the Traveler's voice actor. That's interesting.
What happened? These flowers are jumping. They look really angry. Is this because you sing a song from Mondstadt that they don't understand here in Leland?
Ironically, I have Barbara in my party. That's a little unfortunate. I was very interested to see what they were doing, and they did not disappoint. I'm frozen. Yay. Go, Zhongling. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, I missed? Oh, I froze. That's what happened. No, I wanted to launch you into the water. Fly. You said to fucking fly. Yee. Oh, 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 oh. Please, no. Ah! You can do better than that. Surely. Oh, I froze. Awesome. Ow. I'm frozen in place. Just like being near them freezes me. That's a little annoying. Oh, he ducked just in time. Unfortunate. Oh, it didn't trigger. Dumb. I'll use you to heal. Heal me, O flower of ice. Using my weaker water powers and the special skill that comes with Barbara, I will heal myself.
Those weren't glaze lilies. Glaze lilies wouldn't hit people.
This little monster is known as a whopper flower. Strange. These petals look interesting. The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long. The result seems to have surprisingly potent medicinal value. Let's collect what we...
Well, that's nice and all, but will those petals be useful for the...
Unfortunately...
That's so...
Excuse me.
Ah! Gun you!
Are you searching for glaze lilies?
Oh, hey! It's... What's-her-face?
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised you still remember my name.
How could I forget the name of a cool demon girl ninja thing?
That reminds me. How was your...
Well, it sure would have been better if you told us how to get up.
Didn't I tell you the way?
Nope, we found the way on our own.
That isn't a secret, so perhaps you just assumed we knew.
Oh, I see. Uh-oh. I guess I really did forget.
Huh. Something seems a little off about... She's acting different from the first time we met. Where's...
Ah, well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan. But now, I am simply out on a stroll to see the flowers.
You came all the way out here to see the flowers? Why not just...
Paimon, you're so simple-minded.
Legion Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those lonely gardens now, I wouldn't be able to bear it. Whenever my duties take me near Eugene Terrace these days, I draw the windows to block my view of the garden.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's quite all right. I just haven't processed my emotions yet. When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and drink with Rex Lapis. But 5 of those original 7 had already passed before Rex Lapis. It's truly a changing of the guard.
That's interesting. That's a real mind. That's a
Yes. Now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7. The other 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago. Of the current 7 Archons, the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro. He is merely 500 years old, whereas Rex Lapis was more than 6,000 years old at the time of his passing. This means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 3,700 years ago. The city has never had to bid farewell to its deity.
So what do you think of this?
Huh? This is a little sudden. As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue but as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality. Since Rex Lapis has passed, the time of Liyue's contract with the gods and Adepti has now reached its end.
Huh? Did you just say as an Adeptus?
I figured as much.
Yes, I am a mix of human and Chilean. Adeptus blood flows through my veins. I fought for Rex Lapis and the city of Liyue during the Archon War. After the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. I've continued those duties to this very day.
Yeah, Keeling! That does explain the horns now that I think about it. Never ask a woman her age, so we're gonna go with the other one.
Let's save that conversation for another day. You say that you are here looking for glaze lilies? I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found. See, I've just picked one myself. Here.
We dare not.
Oh, so did you sing a song?
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition well. In fact, I sang a local Liyue ballad to it.
Wow, so you really know your stuff?
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If not for this chance meeting, I never thought that I would be able to contribute to the upcoming farewell for our ancient lord. If you would excuse me, I should return to my work now. Good luck.
And that just about does it. Our preparations for the rite of parting are mostly finished. Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think this was a fitting end to our tasks. In more
ways than one. You seem suited to working in agricultural development.
Yeah, Paimon can already imagine him
So-
starting a business in Liyue.
I'm almost positive that he is either Rex Lapis or he is an Adeptus. I'm leaning more towards Adeptus personally, but the bottom of his coat there near the center looks like it's got scales on it, so I'm wondering if he is the secret dragon.
I've had enough ventures in my life already. Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small amount of effort. And once business is at full steam, the stress of it all only wears away at you over... So you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine yourself. If left unchecked, the wear and tear on your heart may go well past mending.
Wow. See, Jolly sounds like he's already seen it all. Alright, I think it's about time we head back to Lee.
See, it's a kind of interesting to me. We've met 3 of the more animal-faring Adeptus. They seem pretty, well, 2 animal-faring Adeptus and 1 more humanoid. But the 2 animal ones seemed very hostile. While the more humanoid ones are kind of... they fit more. They seem all the wiser. They don't want to just burn everything to the ground the first chance they get.
Huh? What happened? The city gate is swarming with Millilith and...
Ah, you're the consultant to Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Mr. Zhongli, I presume. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times. We mustn't act...
Desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise force?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, I say meet, but it's more like they're attempting to stall the Adepti. However, both sides were quite obstinate and hit an impasse.
It seems inevitable, given the current situation.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts at the Geo Archon. If the 2 sides come to blows, Liyue Harbor will be in no position to stop them.
Surely the Liyue Qixing are not the sort to give in so easily.
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it's because of that obstinacy that mortals and Adepti are now on the verge of conflict.
And what now? How is it that the...
That's all Ningguang's. She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millilith must rein in the actions of the Fatui. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? That's the Qixing for... Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on us. Don't let anyone catch you off guard.
It looks like things are about to boil over at Liyue Harbor.
You can't just stand back and watch.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an intermediary between both sides? Or will you use your sword to turn the balance?
We'll start with the former and end with the latter should the option be
Neither
needed.
path is an easy one.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor has also been caught up in all of this. They're currently squaring off with the authorities at the...
Things are taking a turn for the worse. I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things back at Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. I hope that Master Hu has been able to keep things under control for them. Consider your next course of action carefully, Traveler. If you're trying to prevent an explosion, it may be wisest to look for the fuse first.
Having connections with the Fatui seems to be quite the double-edged... So what did Zhongli mean by looking for the fuse?
Child.
Oh, Paimon gets it. If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turned upside down, it's definitely him. He must be waiting for the moment when no one is watching to do something real. But where could we find him? Where would he go at a time like this?
There's only one place he would go. Either his bank... Well, actually, I take that back. There's 2. Either his bank, or he'd be looking for... What is it? The... Erusation? Something like that? The body of the Archon? I forget the name they gave it. EU something. Now, unlike the rest of this quest, where I've been able to teleport to it, I cannot teleport to the Golden House. Oh no. So I have to walk my happy little ass along. I'm excited to see how big a stamina bar you can get by the end of this game. Because I've gotten 218 or 258 now, and I still have 8 more stamina to get for the next Geo statue upgrade. So if I can get that much when the next set of statues come, if they're going to be more. Because I'd imagine we're going to move across, like, continents. If we can get more stamina, that'd be awesome. Because... Wait, what? Why the fuck am I gonna... This is not where I thought I needed to go. That's so far out of the way. I thought I had to come back up here to the bank. Oh, that's right. The golden house is where they were hiding the body. That's right. That's right. Now I remember. It's all coming flooding back. Unfortunately, now it takes this long to come flooding back. Also, this building up here, don't think was here before. This building we're going to. I think that came with the current update and the rest of this storyline. I wish I had more stamina. Even this isn't enough. Yeah, I don't think this was be here before, honestly. Though I don't think I explored into this little corner here. There were guards standing here before, but there aren't now. Interesting. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Last time I was here, which was yesterday before the stream, before I decided whether or not I wanted to stream. There are guards out here. Alright, so I'm gonna take a short break real quick. Because this looks like it's gonna be a pain in the ass. Alright, let's move on. We'll use the main story, because this is currently my favorite loadout, and it's one of my best, ironically enough. Mostly because I got Bido in it, though. Bido is OP. Very OP. She turns all damage, or all incoming damage to outgoing damage, and takes no damage in return on her activated attack.
Wow! This is the golden house?
Oh, we're coming on the boss fight. Oh, shit.
It looked impressive enough from the outside.
Look at all the
Who
gold.
would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? But this is where all of Tabassamora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few more go missing.
Touch a single more Paimon and we're gonna die.
Oh, so it's a trap. Tricky, tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here. But even if we can't take any, or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of Mora, it's like a dream come true. Oh,
You better check on the
right.
Exuvia
That's
first.
business.
That's what it was.
It's quiet. Too quiet. Surely someone's got... Huh? Look! What happened here?
They've been knocked unconscious.
Paimon, quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is all right.
Heart of the Glaze. Examine the Exuvia.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way.
Looks like I was just in time then.
Although I'm deeply grateful to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location, don't you think that trying to stop me now would just be wasted effort? Stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires.
Not if I have anything to say about
I'm not
it.
asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But I'm willing to do as the Tsaritsa deems fit. Either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted to be sharing with you. The battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble.
When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a Harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again.
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play along, to feel the thrill of battle. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway, because if you ask me, without that, what else is there? Fighting talk, I love it. Now let's see you live up to it.
I like Child. He's pretty interesting.
This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint.
Let's move. I already know your moveset. Blades for block, arrows for attack.
Already? Passable effort.
Just gonna counter.
So quick to flee. They're wide open.
Let's dance. Nice and quick.
He's got a lot of long recovery times. Woohoo! Awesome! A narwhal, not a narwhal, a whale.
Nice and quick.
Try this.
If only that were your special attack as the character. I'm locked in animations. Awesome.
So quick to flee. How unbecoming.
I'm out of stamina. Ah!
A clear shot.
Get out, get out, get out!
Cowering already?
Oh, out of range.
Celestial Voyager.
I don't know if the whale after it's left the ground will do damage to me, but I'm gonna be careful of
How
that.
unbecoming.
a lot more shots that time than he has before. Quite enjoying this fight so far. Now it becomes harder. Now it really begins. Come, show me more. I'll leave these two attacks to throw them back at you.
Not bad, not bad.
So sad to think that the fight is only beginning yet coming to an end.
Try this. Run all you like. Made some progress.
Nice. You dodged it.
You've got a trick or two.
Ah, now comes stage 2.
No wonder Signora was so wary of you. Well,
Lightning.
That just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get.
Woo! Woo! Alright, okay. Now he really unleashes the good skills. Can't let him hit me, because with that marker on me, I'm gonna take extra damage. If he decides to use a super attack, he'll fuck me up.
All you do is run.
I tried to. I need her back up because she's my healer. Unfortunately, I never got ka-ching like I wanted, which would have been perfect. And I haven't got the chance to level the Barbara up because I need to kill the fucking Oceanid. And I don't have any good archers.
Something else catch your eye?
I tried to block all of that, but it didn't work. Well, when in doubt, open your inventory and use some food. We use a pizza. I assumed as much. My best option there was only to guard. Ouchie. I have no skills, I'm just swinging around a big fucking sword.
All you do is run.
No, I don't. I've been beating the shit out of you this whole time. I've barely been running.
No use hiding back there.
I've actually been pretty far. Much. Woo! 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 Block it, block it, block it, block it. Third stage is coming up here, obviously.
You've got some skills.
Haven't won yet.
Got you. Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected. Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now. I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
Ah, yes! Show me more! Beautiful, beautiful! This will be fun.
But this is going to cost you! Yeah!
I am excited for this one.
You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now.
Gotta be careful.
Take it from me.
We didn't take it.
I was right though, Rex, that dragon is not the Archon. He's only their figurehead, meaning the Archon is amongst the people still. Either Zhong Li or Ningguang. No, Ningguang has to have taken the Gnosis. That's gotta be it. No. I think, quite a predicament indeed. Mayhaps the Gnosis has been passed on to its next heir yet already. I gotta watch that spinning disc of lightning. Because it will fuck me up. Barbara has no health left. Here comes the whale. It hurt me, just like I thought it would. I tried to move. What fun indeed. Ouch.
Die here.
Woo-hoo! That's a big attack. 2 anti-seconds until I can get Barbara back up.
No.
Ah! My skill wasn't activating for a second, I panicked. Holy shit. The skill just refused to activate. Woo-hoo! That was close. Go, 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 go! Alright, time to step this up a notch. I don't have any lightning resisting fucking thingies, but I can use as many of these buffs as I can stack.
Die here.
Wait. Timed it. Power of the epic python! Oh, oh, oh. That hurt. Yes, there is somewhere to run. Because all I can do is at least keep some range between you and me. But not even that is much help. What fun! What fun! Uh-oh. Get it back, quickly! That was almost bad. Come, come, show me more. That's not gonna be enough. I marked for death again. Here comes Whale. That hit me a little bit. I'll end that.
Look! Child's back to normal again!
Well then, it seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through, and now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be?
Because I'm gradually restoring my form of
the
power.
answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend. Even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest still given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What? So you mean that...
The corpse was fake.
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contract. As such, we must now look to our backup.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this. I absolutely detest working with those who are weaker than I. The truth is, the world belongs to those of us who desire to become strong. I seldom willingly mingle with any dull and boring weaklings who think otherwise. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyan's stone forest.
A god?
Osial, Overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon's stone spears ever since. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How can an ancient...
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Of course.
Hey, those are sigils of permission. Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing.
Oh, a cutscene! Oh. A beast beneath the waves, and the tide that slumbers. Leviathan.
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Miyra, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
This is one of the very few proper cutscenes in this game, and God, do I love it.
He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on?
Wonderful. I quite enjoyed that fight. Yes. I enjoyed it so much so that I can't put it into words.
If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have known which way to go.
How the fuck would you have not known which way to go? There's a big fucking serpent coming out of the fucking water, Paimon.
Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex still in the sea?
What are you
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with...
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy. Even...
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle. Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any...
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? Now that's scary. So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is... not necessarily.
What? Wait, all of you are supposed to be the Guardian?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Qi-Sing did once research the matter of the Guizhong ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong ballista with one's own hand. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thoughts.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to men. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now.
Ooh.
Yeah?
Ooh. So many new toys. This won't be enough.
The Fatui! They're attacking the Guizhong ballista!
Now we play a part in this battle.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go up too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you, one wishes to witness.
It is a little annoying, the camera work at the moment.
My work.
Don't attack with elements and he can't retaliate. At least not hard enough. I wonder how many waves I'm gonna have to go through here. Considering it's a boss fight, I'd wager about 9 or 10.
Don't be a killjoy. We've only just begun.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
All right, now we have to run from dangerous attacks. Fun. Ah!
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
Neither is this fucking gods.
Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Oh great, they both powered up. Fun. Ah, those both hit me. Good, maybe I can use that attack to damage them. Not enough.
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children? Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
Yay, more power!
It's like a tiny giant cart. Wow, it's not a pink shockwave. This grid is really strong. Tenacious.
Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh.
Go, Rubber, go! With the blood of the Chelian, I guard you against evil. Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War. The princess was going to like in a fight.
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going to die!
Ouch.
Not bad.
That was quite a sneaky attack there. Now the question is, if this is just the things we see on the surface, what hides below?
You are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with me.
Once you
Very
get
well.
try to use them for that.
Frozen again, damn it!
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Let's kind of hope to see Ningguang somewhere.
Over here.
We've only just begun. Right there. I see through that. This looks like I went too far.
Juggling! Use your fucking skill, please. Thank you. I have a feeling the Traveler's gonna, like, fucking pass out after this. This is a lot of power to be coursing through our veins.
Fight on, comrade. Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
How can you be so sure about that one? How do we not know Tartaglia won't come and attack again?
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
Yeah! And now it's only beginning.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
That can't be good.
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
Please, let her awaken to her power.
Another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Awesome. What a delightful finish to that battle. Absolutely gorgeous. This was a chapter absolutely packed to the brim by cutscenes. Delightful. More cutscenes than that of the Mondstadt chapter. I like. More. Give me more cutscenes like this.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade.
Your textures have not loaded in yet, old Moon Carver.
The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great...
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, She had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the jade. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition.
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our... Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small, but that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebearers, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
When there's discord between the Guardians and those they were meant to defend, harmony becomes very difficult to restore.
Right. That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity, as Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see...
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone, when danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please, come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to partake.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, There is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
They've listened to the people and what they've had to say.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All for evidence! Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god, so he could lure Rex Lapis, but we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Hyman doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Longcham's funeral parlor.
What it shows there's something into my quest oh, L2. That's what it is. Yay! Venti's storyline. We'll get to these at a later time. It's gonna be a while, but we will get there in the end. I'm hoping that by the stream I'll unlock a new area for me to explore so I'm not as bored out of my goddamn mind. Because that's the best part of this game, is the exploring, and to be restricted to just Liyue and Mondstadt is a little annoying. I've nearly explored all of Mondstadt, and I'm halfway through exploring all of Liyue.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng funeral...
We've come to see Zhongli!
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong... Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the gold... Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean... We had better go and...
Yeah, I have a feeling that Zhongli's beating the shit out of some people right now. Either that or he's sided with the Fatui. Either or.
You tell the cleverest jokes.
I wasn't trying to talk to you, I was trying to go into the fucking door. But because of the prioritization system in this game, it spoke to you instead. My question is, what element will be next? We've done the Animo and the Earth. Who's next?
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child.
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually,
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
Interesting.
How sanctimonious.
What? So, no, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but...
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Liyue...
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what...
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. I witnessed the founding of Liyue, together with the Adepti 3,700 years ago. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come. Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You've finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli...
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer, so I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue.
You got another plan in case it's all
That's
burned
right.
down.
which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Miyra back under control?
Of course. And it would have been all too easy for him. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Leo matured when faced with the death of its deity.
I was pleasantly surprised with the finale of the show that you all put on. Why, you even deserved an encore. The Adepti deserve the greatest applause, considering their years of seclusion. They hardly recognized the city, yet faced with such a crisis, they exerted the greatest amount of restraint. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even tried to understand the heart of the people. And hats off to the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract, Signora. She managed to keep everything she knew in strict confidence, far from the eavesdropping ears of her colleague child, just as I had requested. All the while, I carried on as Zhongli, and fulfilled the traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for walking that path with me, Traveler. These things were all a part of my script. The only unforeseen plot twist was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue as divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh?
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon, Liyue would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Be that as it may, you've come out of this as the hero of Liyue. I, on the other hand, will be forever prescribed as a disturber of the peace.
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Interesting. I'm sorry I'm so quiet, I'm just very much intrigued. So I did call it. Rex Lapis was Zhongli. What could possibly be worth the Gnosis?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scale, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Intriguing. So we had Venti, or Barbados, the Anima Archon, as a playable character, and I know I've seen some screenshots and shit, leaks of Zhongli as a playable character. That excites me. But to think that we get Child, one of the 11 Harbingers, as a playable character before Zhongli, one of the main protagonists of the storyline. First, is a bit confusing, yet exciting. Makes you wonder when Signora is gonna play a part in the playable characters to collect. I'm getting very For Honor storyline vibes where Apollyon had the Blackstone Legion betray and attack her in order to start a true war.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
No, please don't crash. I guess we'll hobble our happy little asses along. It's processing so much shit, the game is freezing. That's insane.
Oh, well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rumors hit the nail on the head.
So Rex Lapis is really... But they didn't catch the culprit, did they?
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think. I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth it. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think they called him Child.
The Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folks...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. Yes, it's very possible indeed. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Oh, that wicked, black-hearted scoundrel. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my...
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the Ministry of...
Hear ye all! The Chi sings words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Lyra to grieve not and to let not their hearts be saddened, nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Diamond needs a translation on what the Chising's announcement said.
They said that Rex Lapis wasn't murdered.
So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up. Could the Chising already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli... Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands?
I think you've hit the bullseye this time.
Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now. watching? Are they saying something?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is.
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient?
So young. The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
She's got a voice line now! Awesome! That was something new and awesome. I'm glad they finally put a voice behind her.
Roping you in was...
The cleanup of the premises, managing the crowds as they exit, making an account of the rite. There's much that remains to be done. I didn't miss anything, did I?
Roping you...
No, I wanted the other one.
Why, you... Were you just trying to look cool early? If you were looking for someone, you could have just told me that.
Kaching is not so happy with my answer.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Xinyue kiosk.
That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Xinyue kiosk. Are you sure you...
You're right. I do like the Mora.
You've been this way this entire time.
Morax like Mora.
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder. Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and life. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you. That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. Yes,
Close.
the nation has been closed by order of the Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the shogun of the Inazuma Bakufu, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
Oh, okay, so this is the Japanese arc of the story. The Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there?
It's because of visions.
Huh.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of a statue of the thousand-armed, hundred-eyed god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Anemo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto heaven. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Ah, that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that excuse, I will never know. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead. I hinted as much to the Adepti. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions? All right then. Was there anything else?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way. Most of them put the blame for everything on Child.
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Child did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Qixing from defeating the ancient god. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the... Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame to him and called for his dismissal by now. All right then. Was there anything else you wish? The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there? Kuching is absolutely right in saying this. Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the Qixing's plan to take governing power over Liyue from the hands of the gods and Adepti. Could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power... All right, then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
So I did have an impact.
That's right. Zhongli, now that you don't have your gnosis, what's going to happen to all the Mora in Tibet? Since Morax is dead, are they all just... Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire continent?
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time, since creating Mora requires the use of the Geo-Archon's power.
This is terrible! We're all about to run out of Mora!
Yes, this is indeed a major issue from a financial standpoint. Well, I suppose we'll just leave such troublesome matters to the Leo...
Then, did you at least set some private funds aside for yourself?
Oh, a private fund. This does seem like a good lot.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think... All right, then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well, then. I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation.
I already know how.
Have patience. I suspect that some serendipity must first come into play.
There's a door in the Mondstadt with a Hydra seal on it. I have a very strong suspicion that's gonna lead us there. But look at that, we got a Geo Constellation item. We can now move on to the reaction force. The shockwave triggered by Wake of Earth regenerates 5 energy for every enemy hit, a maximum 25. Okay, that's good. So that means if I use it in a group of 4 enemies, I'll get 25 energy back. 5 enemies. I miscounted. But yeah.
So here in Mondstadt, alchemy is...
They did add her voice line, so those of you who were like me before, who were saying, why don't these work? Why can't I hear Paimon and the Traveler talk? It's because they didn't have the voice lines in yet. However, they just finally added the voice lines in, and I am very much in love with them. I quite like the Traveler's voice actress. It's really good. I have experimented with the other languages. My favorite for the Traveler so far has to be the English. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me and say, wow, you're so wrong, the Japanese voice actors are so much better in so many different ways. I personally I like the voice actor in the English version for the Traveler. Like, I also like the Japanese voice actor for the character Lisa. You know, everybody does. And stuff like that. Some of the characters I like better in Japanese, Korean, Chinese, English. It's all different. But, yeah. With that being said, let's move on to Mondstadt. Actually, let's open my quest log and see if the next story quest, Master's Day Off. Oh no, that's not the same. That's not the quest we want. That's for Jean's personal story. And this is for Venti's personal story. Huh. Interesting. But there are sub-quests here. I will probably... I'm thinking of what I want to do. No, I'm glad I didn't take fall damage there. Wait, where's the gem lady? There she is. I guess I could just come around and collect the side quests. I don't want to read this. Alright, yeah, basically by skimming through these quests, I can get the general idea. That one is for Chili Churl Hunt. Alright, I have 121. Alright, so I have plans for Genshin Impact. I intend to have by the next stream, at least another good chunk of the Geo statue, Geoculus, done. I'm hoping that 2 streams from now, I should have all of the Geoculus turned into the statue and have it at level 10 and have the last Stone of Remembrance so that we can fight that big major boss. I already know that that is not just like a side quest or something you can take on. That is something I'm going to have to harshly prepare for. Because for something to require that much effort to obtain just to open a door, there's obviously something on the other side of it that they don't want you to take on half-heartedly. So I have a whole shitload of preparations. That's why I want to take it on 2 streams from now. So even if I get all the Geoculus by next stream, I'm going to take a bit of time to prepare myself. And with all that said, thank you all of you, gents, gentlemen, and beautiful women for joining me on this wonderful, wonderful journey through the lands of Tavad. We have finished the Geo Archon storyline and figured out that Rex Lapis is indeed Zheng Li like I originally thought. And as always, I do hope all of you did enjoy, and I will see all of you wonderful, wonderful people next time.